Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Till the Dirt. And this is the Shahs Rewatch. I'm doing it today with introduce yourself, Mel.
Hi, I'm Mel. I'm from Ohio. I'm in a really small town. We have like 2,500 people, one stoplight, a McDonald's, a Subway, a
Oh,
local
wow.
grocery store. That's it. So,
Th- You're
yeah,
you're the town I might come hide the next time I'm trying to
right.
I need to get rid of my
There we
wife.
go.
Um, but
Yeah,
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 this is the episode. This is where we talk a little bit of Shaw's. This is on the Till the Dirt feed. We're doing a
right.
rewatch where I go over some of these old episodes. I've never seen these. How about you? How big a fan of you are Shaw's?
I
Because
started with Shahs. They were one of my first Bravo shows, and then I
okay, how big a
ventured into
reality
other
fan are
shows.
you, Mel?
I'm a pretty good reality fan. I'm 30, I'll be 38 in March. I started with The Real World and Road Rules. That was my get into reality back in the day.
And now
So,
you watch all reality. You big Bravo.
I do some Bravo. I don't like all of the Housewives. I used to like Atlanta, but they've kind of got boring the last couple of years. New Jersey's always been a favorite. My dad's family grew up in New Jersey, so I'd go there in the
Okay.
summertime, so it's kind of close to home for me. Yeah, and then
Yeah,
I'm a big
and
Southern
again,
Charm
I
fan,
I
so.
want to apologize. Actually, I give people a lot of shit for flaking on me when I'm supposed to be doing these, and then I flaked on you
Oh,
twice.
you're
Well, I was sick the
fine.
one time. The second
Yeah.
time, but I'm happy we finally got to it.
Yes, me
And
too.
speaking of getting to it, let's get to it.
All right, awesome.
And we can let me just preface this by saying that um, you know. I've been in the sphere for a little bit, and you hear a lot of, and I've talked about this, things that you hear throughout time. And
Hmm.
there's a lot of people that don't like my wife. And, she's an acquired taste, same as I am, I guess. But I totally get what those people are saying now. Like the
Yeah.
ones that don't like her,
Right.
after watching this episode, my
Yeah.
wife, I do not like my wife, dude.
Yeah. This was a tough one for
She
her.
is not cool. Well, again, the first scene we pick up at the fight,
Hmm.
which is the fallout of my wife giving Lily the business, which I'm
Hmm.
proud. She gave,
Yeah.
she stood
Oh
up for
yeah.
herself. She sent Lily away scurrying. Apparently, we never hear from
Right.
her again. She really did
Yeah.
circle back to
Yeah.
Texas. Um, but I agree with everything that Reza said in that beginning part about where Lily thinks she's a little better than everyone
Hmm.
else,
Yes.
and my wife kind of let her kick her in the stomach a little bit for
Hmm. Yeah.
and that's over. That's
Right.
over.
Yeah.
You know,
No.
and I got the same message.
Oh yeah.
Um, and then from there they go to Playhouse, which is, I used to be. It's funny that our paths never crossed because I was a mainstay in that place.
That's
I
awesome.
was real
Yeah.
friends with the owners, and it's actually closed down. So it was cool to see some of that. I had good
Right.
memories in there. My
Yeah.
buddy James, we used to go there a lot. But uh, they're very. These women are very high maintenance, dude. They're very high. Like I have a feeling,
You're
Mel,
right.
you're a lot less maintenance
Yeah,
than
that's for
these
sure.
fucking chicks that are
Oh
in
yeah.
this world. Um, my wife decides, and again, there is no justification, there is no reason other than then you're on a reality show and you
Hmm.
want to create some content. And
Yeah.
in order to do that, you're going to go throw a grenade in your friend's lap. That's the
Yeah.
only reason for this.
Yeah.
And so she goes over and says that just interjects and tells them in the middle of a fight that she was making out with someone else the night before. Is that why you're fighting? More or less. I might be paraphrasing. The
Right.
guy obviously doesn't know that was going down. And you know, it's a terrible look. It's a terrible look. There's no reason for it. You can tell that that's now gonna harbor some bad blood. I completely and totally sympathize with
Oh
Gigi.
yeah. Yeah.
Those are words that don't leave my lips a lot.
Right.
But I
Yeah.
am 100% pro Gigi, dude.
Oh
And this
yeah. That's
she
I'm an MJ fan, but yeah, like you said, this episode does kind of, and honestly, I think her and Reza getting back into it. I had a friend like Reza and her dynamic. You kind of gotta be evil, and they fuel your like nastiness, and like especially when you're getting back on track with them, you like really, really live into it. So
Well,
yeah,
Mel, I'm fucking happy you said it and I didn't have to
right.
say it. I'm happy that you're the one that said it and I
Oh
didn't have to
yeah,
say it because that was the one big takeaway that
yeah.
I came from it.
Oh yeah. I gave up a 30-year friendship with somebody like that recently because they never grew up and I did, and it just
Boy,
yeah,
listen,
brought out the
and don't hold,
wrong
don't
type
don't
of
make
you.
them the bad person. It could be
Right,
just the
yeah.
two of you
Oh
together,
yeah, we
dude. You
both
know what I
changed,
mean?
yeah, for
There's two
sure.
like where is it? I read a lot, right? This is
Hmm.
Tiny Habits. Oh, shit. Atomic Habits. Like these are the last couple of
Oh
books
yeah,
that I've read, right? They're very good,
yeah.
whatever. My only point is we're even more than what we are as people, we
Hmm.
are our habits.
Correct, yeah.
So if we have good, bad, it doesn't matter. It's just things that we do. We
Hmm.
all want to, we all have thoughts that are going through our head all the time, always, nonstop, right?
Hmm.
So if we could autopilot most of the shit that we do, then we're going to do that, and that's our habits, right? So if
Right,
we get
yeah.
into, if every time I see Mel, we
Hmm.
talk shit about everybody else in the
Right, it's a
fucking
habit,
neighborhood,
yeah,
it might make us
exactly.
feel good, whatever, in a
Yeah.
minute. But the long term ramifications, is that good? Is it
Yeah,
positive? Who knows? Maybe
right.
it's not. Maybe
Yeah.
it's just us
Yeah.
gossiping and we're kicking the shit. But if it turns into other things, like
Right.
in this episode, it turned into
Yeah.
something else. In this episode,
Yeah.
it turned into let's go fuck with Gigi.
Right. It
You know what I
did.
mean?
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
Gigi, I mean, I think Gigi's being a little bit over dramatic as far as her loyalty and support for my wife. Like, I'm not
Right.
saying that she was, a fallen soldier for
Right.
my wife,
Oh
but
yeah.
that's not even the necessary point.
Right.
This is
Yeah. No.
unnecessary from my wife. It's
Yeah.
like they're in a fight, mind your fucking business. She
Yeah.
obviously doesn't. And then instead of having any type of culpability, it's kind of like, no, it's all right. You should be okay with it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's,
Yeah. Totally. Yeah.
trust me, as someone that's married to my wife, I know how
Right.
frustrating that type of,
Yeah.
apology when you deserve one should be, and you don't get it. You almost get
Right.
blamed for it. It's,
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't work.
Right.
Um, Lily, just then they have the little fallout. She
Oh
goes
yeah.
out to eat with her friend. I'm sorry, I didn't catch the guy's name,
No, me neither.
but I'm fairly certain that she ordered the way that she did because production was paying for it. And I'm just gonna give you a little behind the curtain.
Yeah.
If you continue to do this rewatch, just
Yeah.
pay attention to that. Anytime
Right.
that they're out, whether it's Reza ordering, Reza's always gonna be the
I get
first one
everything.
to act like he's
Yeah.
paying. He's gonna be the first one to run for his card. It's on.
Right.
He's
Yeah.
not paying. Production's paying. So even if
Right.
it's not Reza, even if it's my wife, whoever the fuck is in a rush to show
Right.
off that they're willing to pay, they're not really paying.
Right.
And so like I guarantee you, she probably hasn't eaten that much food this year.
Right. I
The
know. I was
order
like,
that she
holy
made.
cow.
Like that was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? All right, I'm just gonna
Totally.
try it. And I respect it.
Right.
That's what I would do.
Right. Yeah.
Um, and I was never
Leftovers.
main cast, so it's not like I was getting paid like
Right.
these fucking people. So if I'm gonna
Right.
be there, I'm trying all the
Right.
food,
Hell
dude.
yeah.
Um, now after that, when she says that Lily says it at the when she said something that was kind of poignant. And again, I'm kind of paraphrasing because I wrote it down. Around them, I become someone that I don't like, and I don't like that. And I get
Right.
that, dude. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I don't think
Yeah.
it's just necessarily emblematic of the Shahs.
Hmm.
I think it's a problem with a lot of, and I wouldn't even go as far as a lot of reality TV. I think that Bravo, their secret sauce
Yeah.
is this in a lot
Right.
of
Yeah.
ways. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Yeah.
And again, I'm not trying to knock Bravo. I just think that it's a business, right? And
Hmm.
and any type of business, you're trying to satisfy a hole that's in the market, right?
Hmm.
Something that someone needs, and you
Right.
could supply that need. And I think
Yeah.
that soap operas were a very popular thing for a very
Hmm.
long time and
Yeah.
they kind of went by the wayside. They kind of disappeared
Hmm.
because they became expensive to produce. It's a daily thing. You have all the writers, blah, blah, blah. Where reality television has replaced a lot of that.
Yeah.
And, there's just a fine line between, yo, man, relax, run a reality show and
Right.
and it being too real. Like, yeah, I get
Yeah.
it, bro, but don't fucking
Yeah.
talk to me like
Oh
that.
yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
there's a fine line,
Yeah.
and unfortunately, I get what she's saying. Like, I don't think that she's as catty as it made it seem
Right.
when she's in her day to day. Because my
Yeah.
wife isn't. I'll tell you,
Yeah.
my wife's not like
Right.
that. I
Yeah.
wouldn't want to hang out with someone that just sat there and talked
Right.
shit about everybody
Yeah.
else that walked into their
Right.
periphery. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh
But
yeah.
it lends itself to that.
Right. Yeah.
So then we get to Reza and MJ and are talking shit, and he obviously, whether it be him his own self and feeling bad, or whether it been like people in the street or whatever it may be, he's definitely had to deal with the wrath of a lot of people of how he treated my wife at the reunion.
Yeah.
So he's now
Yeah.
it's, I mean,
Right.
this is like textbook manipulation
Oh,
101,
for
bro. Like,
sure.
this is what they do to
Yeah.
terrorists. You know what I
Oh
mean? Like,
yeah,
when they
for
catch you,
sure.
when when they when they fucking capture you, bro. I watched Homeland, dude. They
Yeah.
break you down
Yeah.
and then they build you up. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And this is
Yeah.
like, that's exactly what it feels like.
Oh
And
yeah.
she is so happy
Oh
to be in
yeah.
his good graces
She
again,
is.
dude.
Yep,
The
that's
two
what it
of them
is.
look like fucking, like cartoon villains, bro. It's
Right,
like
they do.
Jafar from Aladdin and
Oh my
Cruella
gosh.
Deville got
That's so
together
funny that
and
you said
fucking had
that.
a
Right.
it's crazy to
Yeah,
watch. It's crazy to watch.
that's funny.
Um,
I told
but
my husband that he reminds me of Jafar just recently. So, how he's a villain. His mustache, everything.
don't worry, I get the parrot a lot.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah, I get the parrot a lot,
That's
like more
funny.
times than I like to admit. Um, and again, man, I can't stress this enough. And I know that, I think people think at the very least I try to be honest. There's many times I know that I stick up for my wife where I'm being just really, trying to be independent of her being my
Right.
wife. And I know there's other
Yeah.
times where I probably give her a little bit more of the benefit because she's my wife. I, I can't stick up for her here. She's 1 million,
Yeah.
she's 100 million% wrong. And then when she said what you did had malicious intent, or she keeps saying that Gigi is saying that what I did had malicious intent. That's like the definition of malicious intent.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
it
for
wasn't, there
sure.
was nothing productive coming out
Yeah.
of it.
No.
Looked over to
Yeah.
kind of start a fire. That's
Hmm.
what malicious, like, there was nothing good.
Right.
No good was
Yeah.
coming over and telling her that she was like, nothing.
No.
And you know, and then then it goes into like it progresses into her now, instead of taking the culpability. And again, I've been in this situation a million times with my wife where she can't just say I was wrong, I
Right.
bad, I apologize, I shouldn't have done A, B, or C, whatever it is, and I'll do my best not to happen again.
Right.
That's never gonna happen, bro. Like, the
Right.
town will burn, dude. Like, you like destroy. Divorce lawyers will get called. You know what I mean?
Right.
All that will happen. Just
Right.
like, she's immune to it, dude. And then
Yeah.
she starts telling her just because you can't go one night without craving the attention of another man. She tells Gigi
Yeah.
she was wrong. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Gigi, for all her tough ass, like, she got mad at Asa about fucking
Right.
calling a friend
Yeah.
and making fun of a friend's
Right.
nose.
Oh
If
yeah, I
anybody
know.
deserves to get punched in the face, it's
Right.
my wife, dude. It's
Yeah,
my wife.
I
They should have
know.
been rolling around on the floor.
Yeah.
Especially, again, my wife is laughing the whole
Right.
time at
Oh
her. And
God,
it's not
yeah, I
laughing
know.
with, it's laughing
No.
at.
Oh
She's
yeah.
laughing. Her and Reza are
Yeah.
laughing at
Yeah.
her the whole
Yeah.
time. So I feel like Gigi's shown
She
a
did.
lot of restraint.
Yeah. Yeah, especially how she was in the first couple of seasons. Definitely she's come a little bit away with that. So
Yeah, man. Credit to
yeah.
her, dude. She hasn't pulled out a knife on her.
Right, exactly.
Nothing. Nothing.
Right.
She haven't even pulled out a spoon. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Nothing. Nothing. And again, my wife is still not apologizing. So we're
Nope.
like,
Yeah.
halfway through the show, which is already 30, 40 minutes, and all of us as
Yeah.
viewers are like, she deserves an apology.
Oh yeah.
Imagine what that shit was like in real time, because
Yeah,
this is
I know.
stretched out over days and weeks and shit.
Right.
So for like weeks,
Yeah.
my wife is not refusing to admit she was wrong about this and continues to make it like it's
Yeah.
equal playing field, or that Gigi's the one that's acting a little
Right.
inappropriate because she
Yeah.
can't take a joke. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, yeah, I
Yeah.
get it. You don't really like this guy, so I'm trying to ruin it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's not up to her to decide that.
No.
And then Reza and MJ, and he's telling her, you need a really thick skin to hang out with this group, which to me subliminally is kind of saying all bets are off, dude. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like if I say
Yeah.
some shit, you got to kind of roll with it, because we know what we're here for, which
Right.
again is a blanket, not apology, but
No.
justification for the way he treated her at the reunion.
Yeah.
It's also like a, for anybody else that's going to get in my path, this is kind of going to let you know. And by him telling that to her, she now feels kind of the same thing, was
Right.
this level of entitlement to be like, if it makes for good television, then fuck it,
Right.
which
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think she's like by herself,
Right. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and 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 again, I'm not trying to single Reza out. They had a show that was on 10 years, so whatever they were doing worked, right?
Yeah, for
So
sure. Yeah.
hats off, but
Right.
I think he's the only one that thinks like that on this
Right.
show. I don't
Yeah.
think everybody on this show thinks you have to have a thick skin. I
Right.
think they
Yeah.
think that around him, because it's like, oh shit,
Yeah.
he might say some
Right. For
fucked up
sure.
shit. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So I think
Yeah.
that's more of giving him license than it is anything else.
Right. For sure.
Then we see, Mike and his family, and I think that scene, even where you are, I counted 2,500. I'm sure it's kind of the same type of deal where the mom kind of
Oh
takes
yeah.
over. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
definitely. Oh
The
yeah. Yeah.
planning. I don't think
Oh
that's
yeah.
isolated to,
No.
Irani culture.
No.
I worked in a catering hall when I was a kid.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I seen it firsthand, man. It doesn't
Oh
matter what
yeah.
you are.
The mom's always the
Mama's
boss
going to
of
come,
that.
and that's her party just as much
Oh
as it
yeah, for
is.
sure.
And whoever
Definitely.
is, so,
Oh
but it
yeah.
was a good scene. I like seeing it. You
Yeah,
know what
I
I
did
mean?
like
Mike's
that
family's
too.
cool.
Yeah.
Asa, we see her ridiculousness
I know.
with, it's so fucking over the top. Like I even forgot about it. Like, we're still doing this?
Right.
Really? We're
Yeah.
stretching it out. It's gonna be the whole season, I guess, huh?
Right.
We're
Oh
just gonna
my
keep
gosh.
stretching this. She
Yeah.
shows up and fucking she looks like Jimmy Superfly Snooker,
I
dude, like for the
know.
title belt. She showed
Yeah.
up with it
Oh
like,
my God. Yeah.
and she wants to, she's burning a sage in a factory. No one's
Yeah.
like, lady, that's a fire hazard. No one,
I know.
no
All
one
the
is like,
workers
hey,
were looking at each other like side eye, like, is the fire alarm gonna go off and she's gonna burn this
yeah,
bitch
man.
down? Like, yeah.
No one is like, yo,
Yeah.
man. Like, and again, it's
Yeah.
just so ridiculous.
It
She's
is
putting love into
ridiculous. Right.
meanwhile, she's just counting how much she could probably charge these bottles for.
Right. Yeah.
It's just, I don't believe any of it. I
No.
don't believe any of it. And I
Yeah.
think it's stupid. I think it's
Yeah. Yeah.
at this point, I just think it's a bad idea. And I'm stunned that none of these other people who you got to have a thick
Right.
skin, right? I'm stunned that
Exactly.
none of them
Yeah.
has been like, yo, what are you doing, dude? This is
Right.
moronic and a waste of
Yeah.
your time. No, they
Yeah.
keep encouraging it. They encourage the
Right.
behavior. And but Miss Cleo got to do what Miss
Right.
Cleo got to do,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
What'd she
Miss
say, Miss
Cleo.
Princess?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
Miss Cleo got to do what Miss Cleo got. 49.95. That's all I think
Oh,
of it
for
when I
sure.
see. Ah!
Oh God, that's great.
And then Gigi and Layla,
Oh yeah.
and this is where I have not problems, but I could see so much of why Gigi has problems or has troubles, or at least then did. I don't really know. I don't really talk to her much now or whatever. No, I don't talk to her now, but my wife
Right.
does. So I have a
Yeah.
kind of an idea of,
Yeah.
that being said, at this time, like, she's right. She's
Yeah.
been wronged,
Yeah.
but now she's taking it to a level that like now you're
Yeah.
turning wrong. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like
Yeah.
her sister's obviously going through it right now. She
Oh
fucking
yeah,
caught her
for sure.
husband
Yeah.
banging
Yeah.
some broad in her bed when they
Yeah.
were on vacation.
Yeah.
Now they got to move. She got to
Yeah.
lessen her lifestyle. She's moving into a smaller home. She got to take
Yeah.
her kids out of a school to go to another school. None of this shit is cool or kosher or
No.
it all sucks.
Yeah.
And my wife, you could say whatever you want about my wife, but she's a good real estate agent.
Oh
Like I've
yeah.
seen it, you
I'm
know what I
sure.
mean?
Yeah.
And they're also too far down the path at this point where you're going to fire my wife and pivot is not going to help her
Right.
find a
Yeah.
place anytime sooner. It's only
No.
going to make
Yeah.
it worse.
Yeah.
So like she's giving her bad advice and that's her sister and her
Hmm.
nieces and nephew like
Right.
because she feels scorned about
Right.
something, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And I
No.
get it. She's
Yeah.
right. She
Yeah.
she got fucked over. But you
Yeah.
got to keep that between my wife and you and not
Yeah.
now she's dead to us
Yeah.
because
Right.
it's
Yeah.
not being like that's not being responsible for everybody
Yeah.
else in the
Yeah.
situation. You know what
Oh
I
yeah.
mean? If it
Yeah.
was a day or two into the listing, maybe you know what
Right.
I mean? But
Yeah.
like enough has been
Exactly.
done at this point where
Hmm.
like, you got to be mad about her on your own. This is more
Right.
important. This is grown
Yeah.
up shit. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
For sure. Yeah. Definitely
And
two separate things. Yeah.
and then we see Mike, and Mike saying your child turning out to be a reflection on your parent with all the things that Mike's been
Oh
through late,
yeah.
man, that hit a
Yeah.
little harder than it should
Yeah.
have, dude. It's
Oh
like,
yeah. Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
I'm not looking to kick Mike while he's down either, but that was just a
Right.
tough,
Oh
that's a
yeah.
tough line.
Yeah, it is.
Um, yeah, and Gigi saying I'm not going to be responsible for my actions is really such a Gigi thing to say. It's
Oh
like
yeah, for sure.
it's totally taking
Yeah.
any ownership
Yeah.
off of you
Oh
and
yeah.
passing it on to whatever
You're
else.
right.
I
For
really wish that
sure.
would stand up in court. Like I
Right.
wish I could
Yeah.
just do shit.
I warned
Like
them ahead of time. Yeah. Yeah.
I told people I was not
Yep.
going to be responsible for my
Right.
actions, and they continue to do it. How
Right.
am I
Yeah.
responsible? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I wish that fucking flew. That would be
Right.
great.
Yeah.
Um, and then I think, and again, I'm not looking to pound on Mike, but when Reza says to him, how does it feel to be the least accomplished UN brother? I think to this day that probably hurts
Yeah, it's
Mike. I
probably the
think
truth.
I think right now when
Yeah.
whenever he thinks about that, that's gotta sting a little bit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Um, yeah, man, and then it's, Gigi's still waiting on her apology. Still not
Oh
gonna
yeah.
come. Still not gonna come. Um, Mike's dad is a very nice guy, very
Hmm.
charming, a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then I'm just thinking of the scenes that we saw. And then the rest of the episode is more or less, my wife continuing to be catty.
Yeah.
When they're at that, Layla, Layla basically um, talks to Gigi like she's five.
Yeah,
Like, get up,
definitely.
get up. Like,
Yeah.
I would have a problem there too, man. Like,
Right. Yeah.
and Gigi
Oh
was
yeah.
drunk. Like, she was clearly
Oh yeah.
drunk.
Yeah.
So like I said, man, I give Gigi a lot of shit. I think she did real well in this episode.
Yeah, I
There was
thought so
numerous
too.
times she could have lost her cool, and
Oh yeah,
and
for
I don't want
sure.
to say should have lost her cool, but
Right. But
comparative
she had
to
the
some of the
right.
other
Yeah.
times, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like if you
Yeah.
lost your cool about that, you didn't about this,
Right.
and
Yeah,
you
for
know, so
sure. Oh
and
yeah.
they were at another family function. I definitely did not, and this is not even an anti-Reza type of deal, man, because I'm sure there's been plenty of times where the second season, I think when they go to Cabo
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
she's drunk and he's chasing her around the hotel with the champagne.
Yeah.
Like that's fun. That's funny. And you
Right.
could see like that chemistry that I always
Right.
hear about that they
Yeah.
have. That's where it's like, oh, look at
Right.
that. That's fun.
Yeah.
But then you see tonight, and this is part of the things that like where it's like that's the shit that sometimes I would see that I don't like because she's not
Yeah,
like
for
that.
sure.
She's
Yeah.
you know what I mean? She's not like
Yeah.
that with me.
Hmm.
Or if she is, it's maybe in the quiet of our bedroom in our
Right.
bed where nothing
Yeah.
beyond that ever leaves anywhere. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Where
Yeah.
this is like, It doesn't, it's not a good look. You know what I mean? I'll
Yeah.
tell you right now, if my son was watching this episode when he comes to a certain age and time, I
Hmm.
wouldn't like the representation that he saw of his mother because
Yeah.
that wasn't, it's not
Yeah.
good. Like I said, she started a fight that she didn't take any responsibility for it. Now there's
Yep.
tension. I'm sure there's
Oh
gonna be
yeah.
tension all fucking year because that's how these
Yeah.
people operate. And
Right. Oh
and,
yeah.
and to my wife's credit, she's not the only one. That's why this show
Yeah.
has lasted as long as it did.
Oh
They
yeah,
all
for
can't
sure.
apologize. They're
No.
fucking impervious to it,
Right.
dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They'd rather
Yeah.
burn the village down, dude. They'd
For
rather
sure.
fucking, but they're like,
Oh
fuck it,
yeah.
man. So I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it was entertaining to a certain extent. I was definitely intrigued by the fact that like I said, this is the first episode that I've watched where I
Yeah.
did not like my wife. Now, I'm not saying that
Right.
I've loved all her behavior so
Oh yeah.
far.
Right.
Definitely
Yeah.
not. But from like beginning to end,
Yeah.
she didn't look good. She did not. I mean,
Yeah.
she looked great. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
She
she
looked
did look
dynamite.
great.
Her cans look sick
Oh
in this
yeah, for
fucking.
sure. I
The cans
know.
look sick in this one.
Oh yeah.
But that being said, beauty's only skin deep, dude. Right?
Right, for sure.
Right. All right. Now, listen, it was great. Thank you so much for
Of
sitting in here
course.
with me. I
Yeah.
appreciate you taking time out. I'm sorry I missed those other two times.
Oh, no
And,
problem.
maybe you come back and you do one of these
For
with me
sure.
again.
Definitely would. Oh yeah,
Okay. You hope you
definitely.
had some fun. You got
Yes.
any questions? You want to lead?
Yeah.
You got it? All right. Well,
No.
listen, obviously, I don't think I'm going to speak to you between now and then. I want to wish you and your family a very healthy, very happy, very Merry Christmas, and also a very, very happy New Year.
Thank you. You as well. Same to you and MJ and Shams. You guys have a good one.
You too.
Thanks.
Bye
Bye.
bye.